Hello, it's Alicia with Ali.plans.cuteness, and today I wanted to show you my outgoing swap for the stitch swap. This was a one-on-one swap, and the requirements were to have at least one 3D item, a memdex, a beaded item, and then at least 3 additional projects. So this is what I created. I also got these. I wasn't able to work them into the projects because they were kind of big. But I got these when Party City closed. These were part of a happy birthday banner that I just fussy cut. And so I think I'm going to use these in my packaging, maybe put them on top or something like that because they were just super cute. So that's those. So let's go ahead and look. Let's start with the memdex. I actually am really pleased with this one. I love how it turned out. So I used this memdex background. I'll obviously put information on the back here, and then just layered up a couple of die cuts, some puffy stickers, this phrase, and then a couple of cabochons. And I feel like this turned out really cute. So I like how layered it is. So this turned out good. So there's that. And then here is my beaded item. This one, I like it. It looks a little, I don't know, it seems uneven to me, but I'm still pretty new at making these. But you can see here I have, if the camera will focus, there's this little stitch at the bottom, and then this big focal bead. And then there's just a bunch of little like turtles and starfish and little octopus beads and some round beads. Just some little bits of sparkle in there. So I tried to make this very, bright beach, Hawaiian kind of a theme for this dangle. And I put on this orange clip. So that's my beaded item. And then my 3D item, this was so much fun. So I had this vision of a camera with photos because Lilo, she likes to take her pictures, and so it took some finagling. It's certainly not perfect, but I had a card die. It's actually for like a pop-up type card, so I had to like fiddle with that a little bit, but I had this card die for a Polaroid, and so I took the card die and then created a box. I did both sides, and then used a box maker to put this around the edges. And then I wasn't pleased with how this was closing. It just kind of like stayed popped up, so then I ended up putting in a magnet so that it would close and have a little pull tab. I just cut a slit and put a little tab in there. So that is my camera. So I put these little Hawaiian flowers on it, and then good vibes and some enamel dots just to make it pop. But this was really fun. And then my goal is that it looks like Polaroids coming out of it. So all of my items are in these little pockets that, again, hopefully at least kind of look like Polaroids. The shape isn't perfect. I used a pocket tag die, and then I cut off the tag part. So it's a little bit, disproportional. It's not exactly like a Polaroid camera, but hopefully it gives off Polaroid camera vibes. So I have this one, and then I just put scenes, like pictures from the movie. So adventure awaits, go for it. And then I put my embellishments in the back. So these are some Hawaiian flowers I made. I don't want to take them out of this bag, but they're very similar to these. So I just inked the edges of the flowers and then put in the center. And then I got this idea. I was looking online for how to best use this die. And some people mentioned using like glossy accents. I used like the Nuvo Crystal Glaze to like sort of reinforce this part that sticks up, the stamen, I think. So hopefully that holds. It did definitely stiffen it up, make it a little bit more sturdy. And so that is how I made these. So that is my first embellishment, or like additional item. There's this one. Had to include the picture of the guy with the ice cream. It says warm wishes from the beach. And then here I made a few different tag embellishments. So I layered up some different die cuts and stickers, And then I put this little Hawaiian flower charm at the top, and then the back is pretty plain. I just put some washi. So this could be used as like an embellishment or a gift tag or whatever. And if the person wanted to just take these off and use them separately, they obviously could. Got this one with the little stitch, and I actually used like a glaze pen. They're like jelly roll pens that are supposed to leave like a little bit of a raised surface. And so I just traced over some of these lines, and that's where you see that shine, where it looks kind of like it's some kind of enamel or something over it. It's just from the glaze pen that I put over the top, and I did the same thing around the flowers. And then Fun in the Sun with 2 little Nuvo drops. And here's the back. Again, just some washi tape. And then this one, this is Lilo with the camera, so hopefully, if it wasn't clear already, that kind of illustrates the theme. And I took a Polaroid that was an embellishment. Again, I traced around all the little lines to get that shine. Same thing on the sunglasses here. And it says Seize the Day. This is actually washi, so this is like a little washi strip that I put on there. And the flower, and then this one, the back is plain. So that is my second sort of embellishment or crafter's choice item. Ooh, that goes in here. And then, let's see, this one. So this is Relax and Enjoy, Life is Good. And so these, I made some little Stitch spaceships. So I took some Stitch stickers, and this one I cut out, I put some vellum across the back, because at first I just had the clear top, and it just, you couldn't really see it, like it didn't look like there was anything above it. So I put the vellum over the back so that Stitch, you can see through the clear, if this will focus good. But then you also have, you can tell where the back is, and then I just used Nuvo drops along the little dots. And this red iridescent is just, I think, really fun. This one I used that same red iridescent and also blue. And again, I put Stitch inside. It's a little shaker, although I used adhesive foam, and it seems like most of my shaker bits stuck to the adhesive foam. There's a little bit of shake and movement. But that's okay. It still looks fun to me. Still has some sparkle in there. You can see Stitch in his little rocket. So that is my third embellishment item. And then I did make a fourth. So there's this Polaroid. Take a breath, enjoy the view. I like this paper on the back. And then these are rosettes. I'm going to put them in this bag, kind of like the flowers, but I pulled them out so I could show, because they don't sit nicely in there. So I've got these little rosettes, and then I just layered a surfboard and this, I don't know what you call it, mesh, and then a die cut. I think this actually I cut out from the paper. I think this was part of a cut apart. And then I had these little enamel stitches that I got from AliExpress, and so I put one of those on there. So I got that one. I got this one, and I tried to kind of go with, so like the ice cream, and he's eating the ice cream. This one I thought was just funny, because it's like, I don't know if he's scared of the lobster and running away, or if he's like arms up like, ah, like the lobster, with that sound effect, of course. But yeah, so I have this one, again, the surfboard, the little cut apart, and then this enamel stitch. I think this one's my favorite. And then I have this one, again, we've got the surfboard, we've got the cut apart, and then I didn't have anything with Stitch and a pineapple, so I thought him, you know, being musical, that works with a little happy pineapple. So that's these. So those are my embellishments. So I did one extra. These don't fit in there very well. And then I had one more Polaroid, because that's, you know, how I filled the box. And so this one I just put a bunch of little embellishments or like little extras. So I have a bunch of like stickers and some tags that have like a Hawaiian theme. I just put them on this string so that they would stay together. So this is just a bunch of little extras that my partner could use. So that is my swap. So again, these just go right inside like they are pictures from the camera is the intention here. So they fit in, and I can put them all in. And then I've got my Mendex and my beads. And then, oh, I do have a bunch of extras. So if you only want to see the crafty bits, you can stop here. But I did find some really cool stitch stuff. We were planning this, I forget what her name is, Tamika, but I forget like her username offhand. I can put it in the link below. She kind of put out a post that said like, hey, does anybody want to do a stitch swap? Let's create it together. And so we kind of discussed as a little group, I think there was like 6 of us, what we wanted to do. And so at that time, that was before all the tariffs and Ali and Temu being a pain in the butt. So I was able to get this stuff off of AliExpress before all of that stuff hit. So I have these, this little keychain with this stitch. This one looks kind of funny with the white mouth, but this one's cute. And then I got a couple of straw toppers. And then this little guy, I think I found him at Five Below. And then this is really cute. I was really pleased with something that was, you know, from AliExpress. It looks nice and it feels nice. And then this little plushie, he's a little funny looking. He's a little smushed, but he's super soft. And I think he's still cute. So, you know, when you get stuff off AliExpress, it's definitely not always gonna be perfect, but you can tell he's stitched, and I think he's cute and fuzzy. So those are my little extras that I'm putting in for my partner. So that is my swap. I hope you enjoyed. I hope my partner enjoys it, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.